Hi Scrap Addicts, it's Emma here, and I have got a layout for our 500 Instagram subscribers challenge, and that is a grab 5. But the difference with this one is followers chose our 5 items totally randomly, and it's a tricky one, let me tell you. So let me just show you this. So you can see here our 5 things are embossing powders, big title, half-used sticker sheet, number stickers, and pattern paper background. This for me is a challenge, and I will let you know that I have been puzzling over this before turning on the camera, obviously, for quite a while, and I still don't know where I'm going. So join me, why don't you? So what I've done is pulled some paper from Pink Paisley Moonstruck. I've had this for a while, since like last November, because I got it in a Light Forever kit. This is my half-used sticker sheet, and this has been a bit of a challenge for me actually, because they're transparent. So they tend to blend into the background a little bit. I've pulled out some wood veneer, which I'm going to use embossing powder on. And I've got some thickers off to the side here that I'm going to spell out my title. Now my title, I'm doing 2 in 1, so I'm going to cross off my number stickers, because there's a lot of numbers in the title, and also the big title. So rather than big in size, I'm going to go big in kind of length. And yeah, let's see how we go. I think I'm going to do my embossing first. Okay, so I'm just going to move everything out of the way and get on with my embossing. So I'm bringing out my Versamark ink pad, which, if you don't know, is a clear sticky ink. And I've got Wow embossing powders, and I'm using a gold because that goes nicely with the Moonstruck collection. Now, I was trying to cheat here because, well, not cheat, I was just being lazy. I didn't want to get out a piece of paper and use like the talcum powder for anti-static and all the rest of it. So I was trying to shake or put on the embossing powder over the little tub that it comes in. It didn't work. I don't actually like embossing powder. I like the effect of it, but it's kind of like glitter. It gets everywhere, and then my table just felt all gritty because it's almost like sand, and ugh. I don't use it very often, mainly because I can't be bothered with it. So I've pressed my wood veneer pieces into the Versamark and coated those in the powder, and then those wood buttons, all I've done is use my craft knife to lift out the sort of enamel, it's not enamel, what is it, epoxy sort of middle bit, stuck them to a scrap piece of paper, covered them in embossing powder, and then melted them. So I've come back to you now after I've melted them, and then the first thing I'm going to do is just stick my epoxy pieces back into the middle of the wood buttons. They were wood buttons that I've had for ages. I think they were part of a cocoa vanilla collection. One had a pineapple on, and the other one I think was just a plain pink, but I hadn't used them this far, so I thought I may as well alter them. And I think that's a really good tip for if you've got some elements, because you always get a pack of stuff, whether it's wood buttons or flair or even just stickers. You always get a pack of stuff where you can like the majority of it, but there's always going to be a couple of things in there that you're not too sure of, or that you just don't end up using. So alter them. And although I've just said I don't like embossing powder because it goes everywhere, it's really good at covering stuff up, because obviously once it melts, unless you're using clear, once it melts, it covers whatever's underneath. So you would never know that those wood buttons originally had a pineapple on them. But yeah, so they're good for that. And then now I've just sort of sped through my title, because it's a lot of stickers and I didn't want you to sit through that. I mean, that's just boring. But if you haven't guessed already, I think my photo was on the table at the start, but I'm doing a layout about Harry Potter. Now, this year is the 20th year of, like, anniversary of the first book coming out. And I thought I would do a page to commemorate that, and I was able to work in the numbers. Now, okay,
I'm hoping you still count this as a pattern paper background, but I needed to mount it on white. I needed the white to come in somehow so that those white foam letter stickers wouldn't look weird. So I'm still counting this as a pattern paper background because the majority of it is pattern paper. It's just got that white border on it, but I needed it. I needed the white border. So I hope you'll let me have that one. But yes, so my title is 7 books, 4,095 pages, 1,084,170 words, 20 years of magic. Now, obviously, I didn't sit and count that. If you Google it, I think there was a website called Word Counter or something like that. So someone has counted it. So I'm hoping they're right because that's what I've used. But this had the double effect of using a ton of the number stickers and also 2 partly used thicker sheets, because that bottom font, the 20 Years of Magic, that was actually the Moonstruck thickers, and I'd used some of them because they're so pretty. But I mean, they'd been in my drawer for ages and I hadn't touched them. So I used a fair few of the letters out of that as well. So this was really good at using stuff up. The thing is with this collection as well, I really loved it, but I didn't want to use it because it's just too pretty. But I didn't actually have any ephemera with this kit. We had the transparent stickers and we did have ephemera, but it wasn't fit for this collection. I think it was a We Are Memory Keepers ephemera pack that kind of coordinated with it. So all of the kind of embellishment-y bits for this layout are fussy cut from other papers. So you can see here that I'm using a circle punch on one of the square elements, or I will be. I'm keeping it square because I don't quite know what I want to do with it yet. And all the flowers that you can see off to the left are fussy cut from one paper. It was like a photographic paper with a load of flowers on it. The flowers are gorgeous, but I knew I wouldn't use it as a whole sheet, so I fussy cut them all, and I really like it on this layout. So now all I'm doing is figuring out my embellishment. So I've taken my photo. This was me at Harry Potter Studios with the Hogwarts Express in the background, you know, as you do. I'm pulling in my half-used sticker sheet. These are the transparent stickers. So I've stuck that navy one at the bottom that says "Tell Your Story." And then I didn't quite know what else I wanted to use from it, so I thought, well, I'll fiddle around with the flowers for a bit, and then maybe I'll come back to it. So with the flowers, I kind of wanted them going diagonal, because if there wasn't anything else that I was going to put in that top left-hand corner, and if I'd just left it, then it would look really bare and kind of unloved, which no one wants. So I've used a couple of the clusters, or I will use a couple of the clusters, and they'll kind of run in a diagonal kind of direction. I pulled out this butterfly paper, the teal with all the butterflies on, thinking that I would fussy cut some butterflies, but I couldn't bring myself to do it because the paper's really pretty. This is how I've been with this collection the whole way along. It's a worry, it's an illness. So what I thought I would do instead is take this like square paper, which I don't mind cutting up, and there were 3 butterflies in there, so I cut all of those out instead. You know, there's always a way around it. So I've put one of the butterflies on the flower at the top, and yeah, I'm still fussy cutting. So I really enjoyed this layout. I didn't think I would. When I first looked at the list of stuff that we had to use, I thought, oh my word, how am I going to incorporate this? But I'm quite proud of myself because, one, I never usually use a pattern paper background, and if I do, I usually pretty much end up hating the layout that I've made. So, I mean, this paper, it is patterned, it doesn't look like it. There's a really, you'll see at the end in the close-ups, there's like it's kind of like self-patterned, if that makes sense. There's like a diamondy pattern running through it. So yeah, that was my pattern paper background. And I'm still going with it's pattern paper background, even though I mounted it on white. And What was the other one? Embossing powders, like I say, I haven't used them for ages. I've only got 6 colours. 2 of them aren't even colours. One of them's clear and one of them's like glittery. I just don't use them. Maybe I should. I need to break them out a bit more. Have you got something in your stash that you've got, like a tool, not really like an embellishment, but have you got like a tool in your stash that you just don't use? Whether because it's too much of a hassle to break out, or you just can't figure out how to incorporate it. Because I think sometimes that's how I am with embossing powders. It's a mixture. I'm lazy and don't want to get it out because that means I've got to get the heat gun out and everything else. But also sometimes I just don't know how to incorporate them. But yeah, let me know in the comments. So I'd sort of figured out the flowers around my photo, but it was looking a little bit bare, like there was nothing to bring it down towards the title. So I used my circle punch on that square that I cut out earlier, and I can't remember what that says on it. It's got like is it like Believe in Magic? It might be Believe in Magic. I thought that was appropriate for a Harry Potter page. And then that butterfly that you see next to it, that was one of the clear, like the transparent stickers that I stuck onto white card and then fussy cut it out, which brings the gold down again. And then there's another one of the transparent stickers that's just above the books, which then puts the gold kind of in a triangle. So it's on the wood button in the top left hand corner of my photo, then it comes down to the butterfly above the 7 books, and then it goes right down into the bottom corner where it's the tell your story and another wood button and a wooden heart. So it's just kind of, it brings your eye down the page, I think, quite nicely. There's no journaling on this page. I think I might do some on the back. I'm not usually a huge journaler. That's a proper challenge for me, journaling. I think it does need it though, because although it's a Harry Potter photo, it doesn't specifically say Harry Potter, but then I do quite kind of like that as well. But yes, this is my page for our 500 Instagram followers challenge. If you don't already follow us on Instagram, then do pop over there. We are UK Scrap Addicts, and we're always sharing and reposting your makes as well if you share using the hashtag UK Scrap Addicts. So until next time, guys, I'll see you. Bye.